In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a Spring Boot Cloud Config server using Spring Boot. First, you have to visit the Spring initializer site and create two projects for Cloud Server and Config Client applications. I name it my project as config server. This is my first server project. I'm using Java 8 and for server application you have to choose config server Maven plugin, and I download it. And next you have to create a config client server, config client application, sorry. And in this case you have to choose web config client Maven dependency. You have to keep memorize for config server cloud config server dependency and config client application. You have to download config client Maven plugin. And I unzip my both cloud config server application and client application, and I'm going to open those projects in IntelliJ. Reason to create Spring Cloud config server is, let's say you have a lot of configurable values in your software, then you can keep those values in a property file. But that is good, but not a better solution. Better solution is keep those configs away from the main application. Then we can change configurable values without restarting the client application. So hence no downtime for our main application. While downloading the dependency, we can create another project for store the property files. I name it as my app config repository. I'm going to create 4 files for each dev environment, prod environment, staging environment, and my local environment. Those are my files. I'm storing some value in my property file. dependencies are still downloading. While dependencies are downloading, I'm creating my property files. In here I'm putting some configurable values as RabbitMQ host, RabbitMQ port, those are just values. I copy those values to my local properties also. And next step is to create a GitHub project. I'm creating my repository project in GitHub and uploading my all property files there. Why I am doing this like this is we can change any configurable value in any time. And what you have to do is restart in the config server. You can pull the change data from the repository. I uploaded everything to my GitHub. Now once we restart the GitHub, we can see my 4 files came there. Now time to create the config server. First you have to do is you have to enable the config server. So there is a notation called enable config server. You have to put it there in main class. And this is the most important part of this config server. You have to mention where is the your repository, or where the file located. This is the notation for specify the config git location of your config repository. Clone area, you can get the URL of your repository, and you have to mention the which branch you want to for the config files. In this case, I'm using my master branch. In your case, you can specify any feature branch or another sub branch. You have to put your branch label here. In my case, my repository is public one, so I don't want to specify my username or password related to GitHub. If you are using private repository, you have to put your username and password in your application.property file of your config server application. And you have to specify your port of the config server. In this case, I'm using 8888. I think this is the standard project port for cloud server. Now we can run and test our config server whether it's running or not. In this case, it is already 8888 port is already using another application, so we can close this application. Here it is using PID 16976. I killed that application. Now once we run the application, it should up. Yes, it started. Now we can test the property file whether it's loading or not. Yes, it loaded. I'm searching local properties now. In here, no local properties because I didn't put my local properties to config repository. So this is the client part. So here we have to create configuration classes for load the configs from the config server and config repository. You have to put these annotations: refresh scope and component and configuration. And configuration properties. Configuration property means this is the you can specify prefix for your configs. So in my case, myapp.rabbitmq for rabbitmq, and for MySQL, let's say myapp.mysql. This is my naming convention. You can also use your own convention for your configurations. If you use MySQL, then MySQL myapp or something .mysql .port, mysql .host, mysql .username, mysql .password, like this. And here you have to use private variable as same name of your configuration properties. If you are using dash between two words, you have to start with camel case. And your private variable should be in sentences case. If say user dash name, you have to start with user with simple name, simple letter user, but name should start with capital N. You have to encapsulate this field. I'm creating a controller class called view, just test configurations. I'm putting REST control and request mapping to call this config server from external side. pull the data from config server, you have to auto add my app configuration file, because it is loading our config from config repository, calling through the config server. I'm returning this type of string. Host name is this one, host port is this one, and username in this one, like this. Now once I run the server, it should work. It should start. Now we can see fetching config from my config server, and my port is client port is 8080, config server port is 8888. And here's the another important point to keep your mind. Here you have to specify which server you are going to pull your configs with, if you are testing your application in local environment, you have to put local properties, and if you are using if you want to point dev environment, you have to put dev, or if you are releasing your software to production and all, definitely your system activate profile should be production environment. So you have to put prod. In here I am using my dev environment. I am going to point my dev environment. My active profile is dev, but and another step is you have to mention your environment in your config client also. In here application prefix name is not compulsory, you can use any name to there, but dev, local and production stage should be same name. In here you have to specify Spring application name. And what is the config server URL. And your port. Now I'm going to check my config client and config server whether it's working or not. Localhost 8080 and my URL. Yes, it came to my screen. Port is this, so you say this, and my host name is 192.168.1.1.2. And I open my config repository project using IntelliJ, and I'm going to change few configurable values in local and dev and production properties. I pushed my changes to my Git location. My changes came to Git. Something went wrong. Production properties didn't came to. No worries, we can try staging and local properties. Production data still did not come to my screen. It's okay, we can check another environment. If you are using staging, you have to active the staging environment. Then staging property should come to our screen. Reason to not coming my properties is I think I did not point application staging properties. Now it should come. And I uploaded this project to GitHub. You have to download those 3 projects and you can check in your local environment. And if you are pointing my Git location, no worries, you have to download a config client and config server. I'm not deleting my config repository project. This is my local user, this is my phone. Now you can realize why we important the config server. You can try and you can give your feedback in my YouTube comment section.